is there a higher probability of the worst case scenarios with regard to oil disruption, oil shocks, as a result of the weekend strikes? I would say probably not. It's a mix of that and a wait and watch attitude. Not to forget, we've seen Israel-Iran strikes now for over a week. And the US strikes, Martin, let's just bear in mind, as shocking as they were targeted and they were brief. So it's not like the US has begun a campaign of strikes, aerial strikes, like the ones that's been going on between Israel and Iran. So the picture is a little bit mixed, and I think traders will err on the side of caution, not panicking unless there is more real evidence to do so.
Yeah, let's get to the key question, though, which has to do with this closure, potential closure of the Strait of Hormuz. And the backstory to this is, look, Iran's threatened it many, many times over several decades, right? It has never, ever happened. Now, though, we've got parliamentarians in Iran backing the measure, although the final call lies with Iran's Supreme National Security Council. I'm not sure whether that means just the mullahs or the mullahs and the IRGC or what. How real a risk or threat is this? Because, you know, if it is about to happen, it certainly doesn't seem to be showing in oil.
That risk, in my view, Martin, remains absolutely minimalistic. I think we need to be able to distinguish between rhetoric and posturing and what Iran is realistically can be expected to do. It's very, very important to bear in mind, what does Iran achieve? What are the pros and cons of it trying to blockade? Even if it is actually able to, let's not forget, the US has moved a lot of firepower into the region. So that's a deterrent. It is also capable of stopping any attempts at blockading. But more importantly, Martin, Iran risks turning its regional neighboring oil-producing countries into enemies, risks hostilities with them, not to mention invoking the ire of its potential market and its actual market in Asia, which is, China, which buys the vast majority of Iranian crude. So very, very little to be achieved, and a lot of harm, self-inflicted harm that Iran could do. I think that's the sort of logic that the market is using as well to discount the probability of the strait being blockaded. That said, Martin, we will probably see ships. I think there's already some reports of ships being cautious, avoiding going into the Strait of Hormuz, at least until things become a little clearer on the security aspect of the situation. That could cause some disruption, some delays, but a blockade is a long way off.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I think we have seen reports of rates as well as insurance rates, freight rates as well as insurance rates going up. So you think minimal risk they could close the Strait of Hormuz. Are you also saying there's a minimal risk that with the limited resources, military resources Iran still has left, there's also minimal risk they could attack the oil infrastructure of neighbors?
Yes, so there's sort of two facets to this. One is, will they deliberately attack, or could that happen as an accident as Israel and Iran continue to exchange the strikes? Now, deliberately, again, for the very same reasons that I outlined for Iran risking sort of a Middle East conflagration or turning its regional powers, which have been largely neutral enemies. For that reason, I don't believe Iran will deliberately attack. Accidentally, there's always a possibility. But again, Martin, over the past 8 to 9 days of this exchange of strikes between Israel and Iran, we have seen both those countries being very, very targeted, very precise. So again, that's not, while that risk will be ever present, that's not one that the market is assigning even a moderate probability to at this point.
Okay.